Dale, papi.
Is Gronk making the right decision by retiring?
Let's put this Instagram post up for the people here. I love that the last sentence, of course, is a grammatical disaster. You don't have a lot of precedent for a guy in his 20s choosing, when he's this kind of great and this close to the winning, saying, never mind. As his quarterback plays into his 40s, I think to myself, man, Gronk must be in some serious pain, because playing the game the way he gets to play it seems like it'd be a lot of fun, being just better than everyone else, until you think about 3 back surgeries, 4 arm surgeries, a knee, concussions, and Achilles, everything else that's going wrong with his body. We're losing a great one here, because you have not seen a better tight end than that one.
Yeah, Dan, this isn't surprising. None of this is surprising anymore in this era of football, in this era of concussions, what we know about the human brain, what we know about what football does to the human brain. It was way more surprising when Megatron stepped away, because this was a guy who was totally healthy, who looked like he had all of his mental faculties, who just said, it's enough, too much for me, right? But for Gronk, when you just rattled off the list of surgeries he's had, the injuries he's had, for the last couple of years, he's looked tired. He's looked like he's tired of rehabbing, tired of missing games, tired of being hurt all the time. And for a guy who's done really well for himself as far as making money both on and off the field, not surprising at all. Great career, Hall of Famer.
Oh, Ron is looking forward to his new profession.
Ron.
That's right, Rob Gronkowski, you know what I mean? I tell you something, Bob Kraft has big plans for him, you know what I mean? He's going to be the leader of his entourage, because Rob knows some hot spots that Rob Kraft wants to visit. That's right, buddy. He knows all the inside tracks in Florida, in California, in Texas, all over the world, all over the United States.
Come on, knock it off.
Is Duke still the team to beat?
Duke barely hangs on, gets lucky by Krzyzewski's own admission, and the game plan that was used on them, you've got to think, is what everyone else in this tournament is going to use, which is just let them shoot from wherever it is that they want to and pack the paint and see if they'll make anything. You have not seen them that disrespected on their shooting all season. Not like yesterday was, but when you look at them being 339th in three-point shooting in Division 1A, you understand why it is that would happen. They're still the favorite because they've got more talent than anyone else, but you saw how thin the margin can be, and you saw how thin they were in general, playing only 7 guys.
Yeah, Dan, the one thing about this that I don't think is replicable is the idea that they pack the paint around a 7'6" dude, right? Not every team has a 7'6" center rim protector who can hold down the paint like that. Matter of fact, a lot of teams may try to pack the paint, but they'll find out that Zion Williamson doesn't really care when you pack it with 6'7", 6'6" dudes. But 7'6" Taco Fall, he was a difference maker. And the other part of this is you're gambling a little bit on the concept of single elimination, meaning they don't have to be terrible shooters every day. They just have to be terrible shooters today. And they were. And so it almost worked if it weren't for the basketball guy just blowing right when the ball was on the rim.
That above camera angle was amazing to see how close it is they were to losing. But I asked this question of Amin and America. Were you rooting for Duke yesterday because you do not want Zion Williamson out of that tournament? Did we really have a situation where America was kind of rooting for Duke yesterday?
I was rooting for my bracket, Dan.
I tell you one thing, Taco Fall, I'm telling you, that is the player of the future. Never mind Zion Williamson, Taco Fall, 7'6", that guy can dunk, he can dribble, he can block the shot. He is a beast, I'm telling you. Zion Williamson, he looked like nobody next to him.
That's not true at all.
Would it be another big mistake by Magic Johnson if he hired Jason Kidd?
I laughed when I heard this because I thought that what you have seen from Milwaukee this year, given that they left behind Jason Kidd, would be a thing on his resume that he would not be able to overcome. Keep in mind, he fled Brooklyn for a better job, got a star player, and Milwaukee underachieved in the same kind of way that hasn't allowed Mark Jackson to evolve as a coach since leaving Golden State. It wouldn't be a mistake in this case, though, because, as Amin says, this is a different kind of coaching job.
That's not completely fair to Jason Kidd's job in Milwaukee. Obviously, they're way better now than they were under him. But he did several things. When he got there, he was the one that put Giannis into more of a ball-dominant role, being as a guard. He was responsible for a lot of player development. I think Jared Dudley was on a podcast recently talking about the player development stuff, the way that Jason Kidd taught the young players how to watch film, and how to be pros in this league. And being a head coach in this league is a lot more than just X's and O's. It's all these other little jobs. So you can be good at some of it and bad at other parts. And as we see the way Milwaukee's succeeding now. But as it pertains to the Laker job, the most important thing is you have a coach that LeBron respects and pays attention to. David Griffin, former Cavs GM, said the big thing that Ty Lue had was his ability to tell LeBron not stuff that he wanted to hear, but stuff that he needed to hear. And that is infinitely, infinitely more important on a LeBron-led team than, say, having the best play diagramming or having the best defensive schemes. Because the reality is, as long as you have a healthy LeBron James and a competent core around him, you're going to be successful from a basketball standpoint. You need to be able to demand his respect and attention. That's more important for a head coach.
Is it a big deal that Kyrie Irving criticized Brad Stevens' scheme?
There were a lot of S's in there. Let's check in with the guy who was on the wrong end of everything Kemba Walker was doing, scoring 36 points against the Celtics. More damning is just losing to Kemba Walker, but look at how Kyrie addressed it afterward.
When Kemba gets it going like that, how tough is he to stop?
It's one-on-one. Pride. Down the stretch, try to come in and help as much as possible. Should have probably trapped him a little bit more like every other team does in the league. But we did. Torches us every time we play him, so it's no surprise.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of, what was the point of that? You want to throw your coaching staff under the bus? Even if pre-game, he was in there preaching and pleading that we should trap him just like every other team does, and nobody listened to me, you still keep that in-house. But here's my favorite fun fact about Kyrie. He says he does this every time we play us. Well, the crack staff here looked it up, his game log. Kemba had a 40-point-plus game against the Celtics. You know what he did in the other two games? 21 points on poor shooting. So he doesn't do this every time. He did it once before, and then he did it again last night.
As far as criticism goes, this is fairly benign. I think if a lot of guys in the league say this, it's not any kind of problem. But Kyrie Irving has been talking so much that he's the one guy that you don't want saying it. As everyone's heading into the playoffs, he's the one guy that you don't want saying stuff like that about his coach.
Especially when it's about defense. You're not the one.
Ring, ring, ring. Hello? Oh, Fred. Fred Hoiber. Fred Hoiber. Yes, Fred. Yeah, you think that they should have trapped Kemba? Yeah, no question. You would have done that. Use 3 or 4 guys, just neutralize him.
Yeah.
You think that you should be the coach of the Celtics? You mean next year? Right now?
Right now.
All right. Okay,
Right now.
Fred. Okay,
Right
boy. I tell you, he was really up on that one. He was really up and swinging on that one. Do you expect LeVar to retreat from the public eye now that big bullet brand appears to be crumbling?
Poppy came in today talking about this story because he's like, Donnie, you've got to watch the numbers. Always watch the numbers. I have seen LeVar Ball say and do a lot of things, but what I would actually pay to see is what his reaction was when he gets that email saying, hey, where's the $1.5 million? Because it appears that he trusted the wrong person. And here's the bummer about it. I was kind of rooting for LeVar Ball to succeed here as the anarchist trying to turn over the sneaker industry. I wouldn't normally root against somebody like LeVar Ball trying to be an anti-establishment guy. But he comes off as so strident to me that I imagine a lot of people are enjoying the fact that he fell in the same pothole that others fall into.
This is a sad story, Dan. This is a story of people being defrauded, not by some slick Wall Street guy who comes in and says, hey, I'll manage your kid's future and we'll make millions. It's by someone who was a family friend. Alan Foster, the guy who allegedly embezzled this money, was the father of a kid who grew up with Lonzo. They met in the 7th grade. This is a family friend. They've known him for over 8 years. This is a guy that you have over at your house, knows your family, they know your family. And to be defrauded by someone like that, that's gotta hurt. And make no mistake, the Ball family, they're victims in this story by a guy who not only defrauded them, but has a history of doing this. And one of the damning things in that article that I read was the idea that the judge said he targeted other African-American families kind of with that hey, let's invest the black dollar and all this stuff. And meanwhile, he was robbing them blind. So while it's easy to root against LeVar Ball, today's not the day when people should be doing it.
Coming up next on Highly Questionable.
They knocked the ball away. That's successful defense, and now Jeremy Lamb, just like they drew it up.
We all dream about our next vacation. but some of us turn those dreams.
Do you question if Jeremy Lamb got lucky?
Okay, Charlotte had to lose this game. This was a game that was lost. There are 3 seconds left in the game. They are down by 2, and Toronto plays the kind of defense that you have to play at the end of the game.
This is probably the real play they want to run.
They knocked the ball away. That's successful defense, and now Jeremy Lamb, just like they drew it up in the huddle. Oh, that had to feel so good. I mean, so good to quiet that arena with that parabola that you just shot into the rafters and came down at that angle going through the basket, because this isn't even a normal heave. This is higher than your average heave.
Yeah, Dan, he had to shoot it like that because Pascal Siakam was all over him, and that's the irony of this play. Pascal Siakam defended it perfectly. First of all, he got the deflection, the ball trickles into the backcourt, he chases it down, and then he gets a great contest without fouling, and what does he get for his efforts? He actually forced Jeremy Lamb to shoot it at the exact right arc and trajectory so that it would hit the glass and go in.
Did you guys see Kemba Walker's reaction? Let's see this. Thank you for the helpful arrow. There. Thank you. Kemba's like, oh, no. Wait.
He definitely thought it was done. Like, man, we lost another one. You saw the way his arm swing. It's like, man, we lost another one.
I gotta be doing that. That's my shot.
No, that's not what he was thinking. He thought, man, this garbage team I gotta play on, man. I gotta do everything. If I don't take the last shot, there's no ways. Oh no, it actually went in. But you know what my favorite part about that clip is? Beyond the fact that Jeremy Lamb at first celebrated like, and what? Like it's supposed to go in. The idea that the Hornets somehow, someway are not only still in the running for a playoff seed, but also for the Southeast Division crown. How bad is the Southeast Division?
Well, they're not getting that 8th spot.
Oh, they're not getting that 8th spot.
8th spot belongs to the Heat. I'm telling you, I'm going to go into action pretty soon if they start fooling around with that 8th spot. I will go and visit them and do something to them in the hotel, like put some good stuff in their food or something like that.
My father just threatened to food poison the Charlotte Hornets.
It's not called food poisoning when you do it on purpose, Dan. It's called just poisoning.
Do you question if this was necessary?
High school lacrosse, was this necessary? This is probably not necessary.
Is it Stugatz?
I don't even need to see the video. No, Stugatz was doing ESPN News college game. This is high school.
What? Is that part of the game?
Oh, wow. Everyone's going behind their back.
No.
Oh, my God. You have to take each of them out by the knees if you're the other team there.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, because they're probably up at this point 20-0, right? Everybody behind the back?
No, man. Look, hold on. First of all, Don Cherry thinks they're a bunch of jerks. Second of all, that is my new favorite team in sports now. I want to watch this high school team play lacrosse every damn day, and they're going to be doing people like that?
I don't think they can do that every time.
Oh.
Do you know the team on defense, the white team? Do you know what defense that team reminds me of? The Lakers.
Oh, there it is.
Defense.
The same
That's
type
it.
of defense as the Lakers.
I didn't see that one coming.
Do you question if the guy in the white and orange shirts had it coming?
Oh, this is boxing here. And this guy in the white and orange shorts, my father just did a little move there that was a bit disturbing, a little salsa-ish more than menacing. Let's check in with this guy. He's been winning the entire fight. Now he's feeling it. The other guy was tired too, but now, yes. Now 10 seconds. Watch what happens at the 10-second mark. I'm taunting you.
Oh, he's talking too.
And the fight's won. He's got the fight won.
Oh, no! Oh, no!
Get up.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
Get up. Don't be a chicken. Get up. Come on.
Don't be a chicken.
No, but this is exactly what this guy deserves, right? This is what we're all rooting for, right? We're rooting for someone like this who's dancing. Anytime you dance, you lower your hands, you put your jaw out there. Everyone in the world is rooting for you to get rocked, and for once it actually happened.
That was pretty bad, but I have seen someone get it worse.
No, you have not.
Yeah.
Follow it up again with the jab.
Yes. See, everyone loves when the showboater gets knocked out. Because it's one thing to be like stylistic or whatever. This guy's dancing. Get out of here, man. And I love how in MMA he gets to keep clubbing him over the face after he's clearly knocked out.
I hate when I'm breakdancing and some dude hits me with his shin.
I switched to Marilax for my constipation.